because, you know,
you connect to this one.
This, so you don't use
Which one is
I have to report it.
I'll connect to my
Oh, wow.
I tell people, even the people blind spots in your eyes.
Yeah. I have, my vision is 2020.
I can't see.
You know how they say it?
Mine was triggered by allergy because I was using my hands to rub my eyes.
You know what they say about hindsight?
It's a lot.
Yes.
Yes. Well, actually, 2020. It's a traditional law.
Yes.
I'm not seeing.
Take it back.
Action. AAC, take it back. Take it back.
Take it back.
Action.
Where's the menu?
Take it back.
Take it back. Action. Take it back. Action.
Just calm down before the scale is
The drinks have started, so we have to enter quietly.
Yes, please. What is that? What is that? How are you? Good morning. How are you?
This is an academic exercise.
A lot of these people are students.
Yeah? We do that.
There's no one.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning. I'm Barrister S.B. I'm Chief Ajibade Abato Amanugo, board member. Thank you very much. We will now go straight to goodwill messages. And on the list I have for goodwill messages is Alhaji Omar Jabi, District Head of Dagi. So we're coming back to you for the goodwill message.
I say Assalamu alaikum to all. I'm the Director General NBC, the board members, the chairman of the board, the governor of Sokoto, distinguished members of the High Table, other participants. I say Assalamu alaikum to all. It is a great pleasure and honor to stand before you this morning in this event, workshop, target media broadcast on political broadcasting. I believe this is time indeed to come together to advise ourselves to share experience, what worked well in 2015 and to be sustained and what needs to be corrected so that we have to be credible and fair elections 2019. I believe I commend the initiators under the leadership of the DG, the members of the board, and this is timely to our dear participants too. I urge you to please open your ear, listen carefully, and respond to what you learn. The credible election depends upon the good activities of media, equal reporting to all the political parties. And also the ingredient for instance of public disturbances is also depend on good reporting or whatever you vote. So we learned a very good facilitation, leadership. Last year there was some problems, but this year around, every one of you can attest. Even the state media, they started allowing every political party right to do. So this is indeed commendable for the leadership of MDC. So we continue traditional institutions. We are non-political, we are transparent, and leaders of the people that bridging gap between the service providers and the members of communities to ensure that free, fair, and credible elections conducted in 2019. So I wish you the best, and I congratulate you for having these right stakeholders and the right time on conducting the right event that will, inshallah, guide the country to have a good media reporting before, during, and after election. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Now we will now call on Mr. E.S. Array, the representative of the ESS Director. Mr. Array. Is Mr. Array around? Okay, now you are around. Okay.
Sorry, the name is not Are. The name is O.S. Amen.
Amen.
O.S. Amen. I'm here to represent the Director, Department of State Services. We just simply say that there's no other better time for a gathering than this. And we hope that all that will be said here will be learned and put into practice. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was very concise. Now, O.C. Ibrahim Ahmed, representative of the Commandant Civil Defense, Zamfara.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the chairman of the board, my most elder brother, honorable members and participants, ours as stakeholders. Sorry, my name is DC Ibrahim Mohammed. I'm representing the Commandant, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Zamfara State Command. Ours as stakeholders, this is the right time for something like this, because events like this and the outcome helps in a lot in ensuring that our job becomes very easier. When you have good media coverage and good broadcasting, the tendency of having crisis in the society is very minimal. And when there is no crisis in the society, it's easier for us. So my prayers here is the deliberations that will take place here, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to implement them fully and to ensure that next year will be a very good historic event in the history of Nigeria, positively. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you, DC. The next person is Muhammad Musa, representative of the Resident Electoral Commissioner of Sokoto. Mr. Black, come back. Okay, sorry, thank you very much.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. The DG NBC, the Chairman Board of NBC, a representative of eminent members of the board, and Covenant Sokoto, members of the High Table, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm here to represent my resident commissioner who is unavoidably absent. My name is Muhammad Musa, head of water education and publicity. This workshop came at a very right time. NBC has now thrown a challenge on us and the media to do what is right in the forthcoming election, beginning with the campaigns. Political broadcast affects all of us because election is a perception issue. And who molds this perception is the media. So we expect media to observe the rules and regulations guiding the political broadcast. That's why NBC brought the media gurus here in order to fine-tune and hone them on the rights of the political parties to equal coverage and broadcast of their campaigns. At INEC, at our own INEC, we are very ready to work with NBC in ensuring peaceful and credible election come 2019. We have already put in place a lot of innovations in the electoral process with a view to bringing improvement in the way people cast their votes on election day. With this, I thank the NBC for organizing this timely workshop. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. My attention has just been drawn to the fact that the people at the back are not hearing what is being said. So the speaker, have you moved it? Okay, so we can now go ahead. Before I call on the chairman of the board for his key address, permit me to quickly organize members, management board of the MPC. Before that, we have our discussant, Professor Anjuma Gambo. Professor Anjuma Gambo, thank you. We have Alheri Saidu, the Director Legal and Acting Secretary of the Commission. We have Professor Armstrong Gachaba, the Director of Broadcast Monitoring, who's going to double as a discussant. We have Boni Okaila, Director of Finance. We also have Achara O.M., Acting Director, Human Resource and Administration. Then Ojon B. Otono, Acting Director, Investigation and Enforcement. Thank you very much. The next item on the program is keynote address by the chairman of the board, Madam Ikram Aliyu Idris.
Press people, can you take the sides, please? The sidelines, please.
My colleagues, the members of the board of NBC, the Director General of NBC, Madam Wakau, the representative of Sokoto, and some representatives that are here. And I also learned in our mix, one of the presidential candidates just Omi. Am I right? You see her?
Yes.
You see her?
Yes.
You're welcome, Mr. President. Yeah, welcome. You're welcome in our case, and you came at the right time. Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. The 2015 election has become and gone, but the fall out are still here. There is a need to exhaustively interrogate what happened in 2015 electionary process and the plan for the subsequent election. That is why the government, the commission, commissioned a robust study on the election and 2015 election. The validation of the report I was told would be done here today. The 2019 election is here, and already our various political actors have commenced the process. But it seems that the nation has not learned much from past mistakes. It is therefore reasonable to expect that the challenges of coverage of election in 2019 in the media will not be radically different from there of the 2015, as the signs are already shown, or rather showing. Most international observers report on the media coverage of the 2015 election highlighted major achievements and significant flaws. According to the Nigerian Democratic Report, NDR, an election of the NGO managed by the International Press Institute, IPS, the Nigerian media show high interest in conflict-related issues, but largely ignore development content in their reports. Again, well, on the average, the media attempted to show a high level of professionalism in the coverage of the political activities during the period. More media space and the time were found to have been devoted to the coverage of the two dominant political parties. Permit me to draw your attention to some of the maladies that were evident in 2015. Relatively, some of them are here today. Excessive speculations and rumors in coverage and reportage. 2, lack of issue-based political discourse would lead to the personal attack on individuals rather than scrutiny of track records of candidates. 3, denial of access to opposition by broadcast stations. 4, misinformation from the media which provoke negative reaction and misdirection of the elections, or rather electorates. Number 5, broadcasters acting as judge or advocate for politicians, and the instance of editorial staff of stations acting as media consultants or political relations advisors to candidates and political parties. 6, many broadcast stations justifying the Nigerian Broadcasting Code, the Electoral Act, and other extant laws of personal interest of their properties, owners, and political associates. Number 7, the challenges of new media, new forms of complicity with the entry of online news sites and blogs, social media, and the use of telephonics to extend the boundaries by eyewitness journalism, and added the challenges faced during the 2015 election process. Number 8, hate speech. The hate speech and the harsh words allow a traditional media time and space in 2015 reach a finish during the final campaign. Today, all over the zones, politicians are promoting hate speech. In my mind, the way forward, communication is the central guiding element in the interaction among people. Through quality media practice, people need the facts and information they can trust. That is why the media, the functions and benefit people positively, it must adhere and conform with the certain ethical standards. Ethical standard. A situation where broadcasters throw caution to the winds and freely disseminate ill-digested personal opinions about election process, violate those standards. Election will come and go, but Nigeria will remain. Will Nigeria remain as one, or will it come out as a nation infested with hatred, distrust, and democracy? This is certainly not what we envisage for a country heavily endowed by God to make us prosper as brothers, sisters, and our brothers keepers. How shall we see another after an election campaign richly studied with hate, bitterness, and indeed venom, all in the name of winning the election? Ladies and gentlemen, the balls in our court. There is therefore call on us to be taken the workshop seriously and pay attention to the speakers and the discussion. Please enjoy your stay in Sokoto. May Allah Jazakallah khairan for all of us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I think the chairman, being the son of the soil, needs more clap than you have given him. While the chairman was making his keynote address, a very important dignitary walked in, and that person is a presidential candidate by the name Mr. Omoyele Sowore. We will therefore like to have a little of his experience by allowing him to give us a very brief goodwill message. Mr. Omoyele Sowore.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and the DG of National Broadcasting Commission. I'm excited to be in your midst because I transitioned from being a journalist to being a presidential candidate in this year's election. In 2014 and 15, I was responsible for announcing the results of the election before it was sanctioned by the National Broadcasting Commission. And that particular report led to a free and fair election, because if that election had seen the night time, it would have been rigged. That is the truth. But today we are faced with a different challenge. It's now going to be a transition from an analog era to a digital era. And my very short comment here today is that I would have loved to see a lot of online media practitioners in the house. Because whether we like it or not, the election is going to be announced again. Not by the traditional media, but the new digital era media. So if they are not here, we are not doing justice to ourselves. I want to hope that you have a very fantastic deliberation here today, and hope that you continue to give those of us who you call small party candidates enough coverage. We have not been getting any coverage at all. The media somehow has reduced this race to between two major parties, the APC and the PDP. The party that will win the election next year is not going to be those two parties, because those two parties have failed Nigerians, and we are the ones that will win this election, and you better be prepared to release the results. Yes. It cannot be rigged, because this is going to be the election from the streets, the same way the media released the results from the street last time. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Take care. Have a fantastic celebration.
Thank you.
They were asking for the name. My name is Omoyele Sowore and our party is African Action Congress, ANC.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Like he told you, he represents the AAC, and I am happy to also announce and thank the other parties that are here. We have representatives from DDP, there are people from SDP, JMPP, and JNPP, and JNPP. You are all welcome. Thank you for raising the occasion. We also have civil society organizations, and I'll give you my card.
No problem. Please, can you give me I'm in Chicago tomorrow. Yeah. Please tell us. You're ready. No problem. You're ready. You want to step down?
Yeah, so that we don't distract them. Sorry, are we set? Are we set?
Yes.
Are we set?
Noted.
Are we set?
Same.
Gentlemen, are we set?
Yes, sir.
All right. As young as you are, what informed your decision to pick up this challenge, trying to become a Nigerian president?
Don't move forward. I'm glad you said young, because the population of Nigerians that are young is 70% of our population today. And these are people who have been left out of the political process, they have been left out of the financial system, they have been left out of our economic system, they have been deprived of education, health, they have been deprived of opportunities. And we are representing them to take the country back from the people who have done this. Gentlemen, we cannot continue to reward people whose only career has been to fail Nigerians from time to time within the political circles. It is time for people who have the capability, who have the ability, who have the exposure, and also the capacity to run this country. The old people who have very, very grandiose, unworkable ideas have run this country to ground. And young people like us who have always fought for what is right for the last 30 years have come together and said it is time to push out the old people. And that's the message I briefly described upstairs. That you see them, they are still going from conference to conference with old people. Whereas the young people have determined and decided how they want to move forward. These guys are going to find out by February 17, 2019, that this country has moved beyond this kind of symposium and conferences. Because we have moved into the digital world where they are still in the analog era.
Mr. President, there are accusations. Some of you in this other party, as you describe the party upset, they are pretending they are not contesting for anything. You are working for.
I am not one of them. You know my history. I was the person who started an online newspaper known as Sahara Reporters 12 years ago. And that was what opened the eyes of everybody in this country to the political shenanigans, the financial malfeasance that have become the order of the day. This platform helped put politicians in jail like Ibori. It helped to expose a lot of scams. It helped to make the 2015 election transparent. And we weren't working for anybody then. In 2010, when Yar'Adua and his people were holding the country to ransom, it was this same platform that helped to bring a minority to become the president of Nigeria. And at that time, there was no ethnicity, there was no religion, there was no relationship. It was pure-hearted intervention in politics. That's what I am to today. Maybe there are other political parties that are working for these parties. Of course, PDP can boast of 35 of those political parties. They were part of the coalition known as COP. So I wasn't part of COP, so you know them and you can recognize them when you see them. But our position and messaging is very clear. We are for the betterment of this country. We are about moving this country not to the next level, for the highest level.
You admitted that the media... You know, there is a problem for the smaller parties. Like the women who want to go into politics are complaining. Yeah. The issue of money, funding, because the issue is not the issue is not money, it's conscience. The media needed to wear his conscience at this time, not to be looking for money. The money that the big political parties or the legacy parties are giving you, they were not monies that they made them. They were money stolen from the public. You have a duty to cover people who have messages and not people who have money. That is what we are saying. The media is not particularly for the media.
You sounded very confident that it's going to win, and you admitted that the media is biased. What is that thing that is pushing you?
Because the media, just like they did in the past, they are not talking to the real people. We are still talking to the talking heads in the society, and they are becoming fewer and less influential. I have been in the media too. You know that. I warned the media several years ago that their relevance and influence is going to win based on their greed. And that's exactly what happened in 2015. That is why the entire media in this country could not report who won the election until after INEC started reporting. Don't forget, and I'm going to remind you guys in the media, while you all guys were sitting in Kogi states and the candidates who won the election had died, you couldn't report it because the media wasn't prepared for that kind of style of reporting. It was Sahara reporters that broke the news of Alu's death, you remember? And all the media people were there, channels, TVC, they kept calling Sahara reporters, where did you get the news? And when they couldn't find the news, they reported the next day that the man will resurrect in this country because you had not applied yourself to the needs to listen to the people in the society. That's where the confidence is coming from. We, for example, were in Kano a few days ago, and we had a massive rally. The media did not report it. When I arrived in Nigeria from the US, I think a few days ago, and there was a massive event at the airport, the media did not report it. But you are reporting somebody who is in Dubai, on holiday, Atiku. You are reporting the president who did not physically attend the rally in Kano. So this is what we are talking about. We are not reporting what the society needs. We are reporting what we think the society should hear. You guys are my colleagues. I cannot lie to you. We are failing the society.
Mr. Sowore, what would be the difference from other people who are doing